Episode 3, Franchise Player XP. Real quick, if you haven't had a chance, click here because it's super important that you watch episode 2. There's some secret sauce that's going to help speed up today's video and keep increasing your total XP. Let's dive into it. All right, so you made it back. Let's just jump right into it, huh? The very first tip on getting player XP in franchise is using the players positively in game. Duh. Obviously, the more that you are successful on the field with your players, the more XP they're going to gain. They also get additional XP boosts through things called morale. The more wins that you tally up and the more better performances, whether it is 100-yard receiving games with receivers, no turnovers with quarterbacks or halfbacks, 100 yards on the ground with halfbacks, sacks, pass defenses, tackles for losses, those impact plays are going to increase and or potentially decrease your players' morale. And so those are things you want to keep track of while you are in fact looking towards creating XP opportunities. Okay, that's number one. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Number 2, and one of the biggest ones, is going to be through your weekly strategies. So these weekly strategies are not just, for my opponent. Yes, they are, but also even deeper than that, they will help train up your position groups. So you'll see here that you're going to get outside run defense, super high positives, but you're going to see on the back end, your outside run play actions and your outside run cutbacks are going to lower. Now I'm going to show my camera, kill my camera for you real quick, because the part that you really want to pay attention to is down here in the bottom left. Defend outside run, better block shedding, tackling, pursuit, play recognition when calling outside run play counters. So when you're calling a specific set of plays that they have designated inside of your defensive playbook, you're going to get those bonuses, okay? That's number 1. Number 2, players inside specific position groups are also going to get bonuses. So like your left ends or your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, your cornerbacks and your safeties, they are all going to get boosts for those things because it's outside runs, okay? We can go in here and you can look at each one has its own benefits. Then on the offensive side of the ball, it works the same way. So if you're going to call an inside run, you're going to get improved run blocking, carrying, break tackle, stiff arm, and trucking when calling an inside run play. Okay, so those are your dives and your powers and all of those type of things, going to give you all of those bonuses on top of the fact that your offensive line is going to have your offensive line, your tight ends, and your fullbacks are going to have improved inside run blocking whenever you're calling an inside run play. All right, same thing, just call it for the outside runs. All right, so it's the same idea. Throw it deep gets a little bit interesting because now you're looking at improved deep accuracy, pass blocking, deep route running, and catching while calling deep pass plays. You'll know what these plays are specifically because it will say in green game plan. These are going to be designated in your playbooks as a game plan play. So you know when you call that play, all of these things are going to be in effect. So say we're calling a deep pass play, you're going to see that on the defensive side of the ball, things like their faster reaction to medium passes, right? So some of those underneath routes, they're going to be able to react to those a little bit faster. However, your pass catchers are going to have a spec catch rating increase. They're going to have better deep routes overall, so their deep route running may catch a little bump, and it will also slow down the defensive backs' run support opportunities on the defensive side of the ball, okay? So these are just, it's that little bit of chess match, but even bigger, you now know, okay, if this is what I'm going to choose for my game plan focus, I know for a fact my quarterback, my wide receivers, my tight ends, my fullbacks, and my halfbacks are going to get better spectacular catch rating. They're going to get an increase in their deep route running. Okay. And those are the way that you have to play that game. However, it's even deeper than that, because players that are of those archetypes are going to get an even improved boost. So if you have wide receivers and tight ends that are vertical, right? I believe it's called the vertical for the tight end. And then obviously you have deep catchers for the wide receiver group. They're going to get that boost as well. If you looked at the coach video, you know about your game plan goals. I'll touch on this again. Game plan goals are just going to get you your franchise points, which then help you get more points for those trees. Okay, so we're not really going to talk about this at all today, but we are going to talk about focus players. You'll see that I have 6 of them now. When you first jump into your franchise, you're only going to have 3. You can choose your players by either hitting the X or square button if you're on PlayStation, and it'll bring up your entire list of every player. It even allows you to sort via your position groups, so that way you can get to who it is that you want to work on quick, fast, in a hurry. Okay, so this is the first step on how you can truly maximize what you can do with a player. Each player is going to come with a set of drills. I will give you a quick nugget. If you have a defensive back, I recommend coverage skeleton. I think coverage skeleton is easier this year. DB battle used to be the go-to, but that was in years past. They would show you the route that the wide receiver was going to run. They do not do that anymore. Okay. In my opinion, coverage skeleton's the way to go. I've been very successful in getting golds with those. So that's the quick tip that I'll give you on that. Any of your linebackers, defensive ends, defensive tackles, I highly recommend you just do the trench battle. Trench battle, it's 3 goes. It's real easy. I mean, here, I'll show you how easy it is. We'll just knock this one out together real quick. You'll see here, you're going to get the go. You're going to use the right stick to make your move. You're going to get through. You don't even need to get every single +1. I do recommend you try to hit the bullseye, whether it's through a big hit or whatever you want to do. But yeah, it's easy. See, here we go. There's number 2, and our third try we'll get our gold. You only need 3,000 points. All right, so here you go. Rip through, bingo bango, boom, done. All right, and that player now earns 750 XP, which is the maximum XP you can earn. I will tell you, sometimes if you get blessed, multiple gold mini games could lead to a dev bump just through training. I've gotten many a dev bumps through training. Okay, so don't sleep on getting your trainings done. All right, so you've completed all your drills, you've made your weekly game plan goals, you chose those. Now you're gonna hit start training. Start training, it's gonna simulate what a regular week of practice would be with your team. And now here's what I want you to see. Look at how all my starters have game plan boost of 5 finesse move, 5 power move, 5 play rec. And look down here, you've got linebackers that have got power move, finesse move, zone coverage, and man coverage. All of these things. The other line I need you to focus in on is all the way over here to the right. You're gonna see focus XP. So for instance, Mr. Harold got 300 focus XP. Mr. Beckman got 300 focus XP. That's because they were one of our focus players. You'll also see drill XP being different and bonus XP being different. All of those are going to be set up with our next topic, the coaching tree. I'm not going to talk a ton about it because you should go back and watch the coaching video. If you have not seen the coaching video, I've got it linked right above my head. I'll also link it down in the description. It's also in this playlist. All right, so we go over here, franchise staff. Franchise staff, you're going to see view talent tree. As the head coach is where we're going to focus, okay? You're going to see here, you've got offensive development, defensive development, and staff modifications. Staff modifications, I think you should do last because it's going to give you the least amount of gain when it comes to early spending your points, okay? But what we're gonna talk about right here is this one, the after school tutoring, which gives you access to additional focus players through your weekly strategy. As you see, I have 3 of 3. The other big one over here is the final piece. This allows every player on your team to count as a scheme fit. Being a scheme fit also garners additional XP in game and week to week. Okay, so this is another huge one that you should go ahead and focus on getting. How you want to do those, but just understand the more that you can get up to 15% bonus XP per week by focusing on your trees. Secret sauce again, team scheme. I want to just take a second and show you where you locate that. All right, so when you are looking through your staff, you can go right here to team schemes. When you're choosing your team scheme, it will tell you every player on that side of the ball and how their archetype fits within your team's needs, okay? So I'm a 70% fit for vertical zone run, 54%, 62. When you are first starting out and throughout your career period, you should be visiting this screen right away, because the more players that you can get to fit in your scheme, the more that they are going to have additional XP. See, it says it right here at the bottom. Players within 3 overall points of the preferred player type will increase the scheme fit percentage. Players with a perfect scheme fit match will earn extra XP in weekly training. All of this easy free XP is no reason to pass it up. There's no reason to pass it up, okay? So just make sure that you're visiting this screen, especially if you're doing a fantasy draft, and getting this set to as high as you can while you're still going through earning those franchise points, all right? Because it's a boost to where you can get players extra XP right from the jump, all right? And the very last way that you maximize your player XP is through storylines. I saved this one for last because yes, it can be positive. However, it can be negative. Okay, so you just have to be very clear. I personally will skip my storylines, but if you're on a hot streak like we are right now, we'd like to get your take on how successful we're doing, right? Let's focus on our defense. How often my team sacks the quarterback? Well, how often does my team sack the quarterback right now? Lately, it's been higher than 2, all right? And again, when you're looking at this, make sure you're thinking about your opponent, their play style, and all of that good jazz. Look at that. So having analytics and knowing that we've been doing it, our morale just increased by 5, and we earned 7 free staff points. And sometimes it could be free XP, sometimes it'll be dev upgrades. So you just have to be very critical and very kind of touch and go on the storylines. Again, I'm not saying that I'm anti-storyline. I'm just not a big proponent for the storyline because it is a gamble, all right? That's it. That is exactly how you're going to maximize every single opportunity that Madden franchise gives you to get the most out of your players and get the most for your bang for your buck, all right? Next video, we're gonna talk and dive deep into the finances. I've gotten a lot of requests about how folks can maneuver within the salary cap, how signing players and negotiations are gonna go. That video itself is gonna be super comprehensive. I might break it up into 2 or 3 spots, so we'll see how that works. But until then, man, as always, 200%, 100% passion, 100% positivity, and you'll reap all the benefits you seek. I love you, I appreciate you, and on to the next one. Peace.